everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Roethlisberger's Steelers going up against Ryan's Falcons. With that, let's send you to Atlanta now, where Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis are on the call.
Well, there's a new building set to open adjacent to us to the south, but for now, they're still playing football at the Georgia Dome, and that's where we're located here in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. They come out here in the eye. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Lawrence Timmons, the linebacker, there to get him down. Here's the offense, and we talk about the tight end, Jacob Tamme.
A lot of people thought of him as simply a safety valve receiver. He can be a primary receiver. Jacob Tamme shows better athleticism than what people expect.
On second down, Freeman fighting through, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is, and I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant in just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a third Pro Bowl in 2017.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, 42 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Fresh set of downs here. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Then the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. On the right side, caught by Green. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste. Gives him fuel for the next season, though, because remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
Offense working with a 2nd and goal now from the 3. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Brandon, now we find out what their definition of commitment is. They've run it on the first 2 plays. Do they come back and do it again? They're that much closer to getting into the end zone.
Yeah, inching closer and really knocking on the door now. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football. So they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Bell. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. They'll go for it with Bell. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Le'Veon Bell, no shades there in 2015 against the Chargers where he stumbled in. Here he can't get in. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. Now Ryan back into his end zone. He's going to go for a big, and got his man complete. The 30, 10, touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 98 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. And it's good to make it 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his...
Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Robert Alford. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Yeah, for Coleman, if you combine the rushing and receiving yards, close to 1,000 last year. He had 8 touchdowns as well, and was just really a great 1-2 combo with Devontae Freeman.
An outstanding one, and just think, if he's on just about any other NFL team, he's probably the lead running back. And Devontae Freeman gets the bulk of the carries. But Coleman, when he does get his hands on the football, he really produces in a big way, speaking of the numbers you just gave. That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Mike Mitchell coming up from the secondary to make the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And the wideout in motion. On 3rd down, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Falcons. Taylor Gabriel, 42 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And he's got it up and through. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He completes it to Bryant. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now, for him, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers, Charles. What did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed a tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers as well. So Big Ben had more targets to throw it to. That should help Antonio Brown going forward in 2017 because he'll still be the primary guy. But when you get help, boy, you can make bigger plays downfield.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant, and that'll bring up a 4th down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And they're able to get that. Actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Bryant with a catch right side. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Inside the red zone here. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
12 yards is the pickup there. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Ryan now to throw on third down. Being chased out left. And now he'll let this one go deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That one goes for 38 yards. And it'll give the Steelers a first down.
I think one of the underrated aspects of Ben Roethlisberger's game is his ability to actually throw the football. We hear so much about his movement and escaping the pocket. Ben can step back there and fling it, and Antonio Brown is usually there to catch it.
We've really seen their chemistry develop, haven't we?
Yes, we have, and it's been really, really fun to watch.
He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end, and it's second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And he motions the wide receiver. Roethlisberger will throw. That is caught at the 7. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The left side completion to Jones. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So it'll be first down here after the run. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. On 3rd down, Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And the wideout in motion. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll come out in the pistol. Ryan wants to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well,
now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And they'll indeed take a knee. And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. Is the distance on the punt there, and possession will change here with very little time remaining in this contest. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.
Show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on ya. He got a thing for a Latin. He wanna hear a little Spanish? I told him it ain't practice it. I'm about to fill you up with Spanish. Walk up with the click and I ain't looking like the side in this. I'm the opposite cause I'm the main event in boxing and it has the time been ticking. I've been out here playing my position, I'm about to get it. Now ain't no one about to block my hit cause someday something come on. Someone tell me I'm someone. Somebody that one day will be the love of my life, love of my life. here for a minute. Bet you want a girl to keep it independent, and I know you gotta like a girl that's this appealing. Get you caught up in the moment, then I'll get you in your feelings. Tell your boys that you gon' meet them later on. Both of us are so taxi, leave the meter on. First time you out in Cali, never tried no this strong, so you gon' have some stories to tell when you take it back home and tell them one time, Snowy always showed you what it's like. Leave you sleepy like the call the umpire. Get you out and get you rolling, get you gotta go. I got a flight up in the morning on Sunday.
Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Roethlisberger's Steelers going up against Ryan's Falcons. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
Larry, we are just off of Centennial Olympic Park Drive at the home of the Falcons since 1992. It's the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. Brown, the lone receiver, left. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Pressure brought in. Falcons get there for the sack. Adrian Claiborne in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 18 yards on that one. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Roethlisberger keeps it. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover. Because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
Eli Rogers, the intended receiver. Here's a look at the young Atlanta Falcons, although next year, obviously, everyone will be a year older. So rookies like Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, Devondre Campbell, an extra year. Well, they're only a year, but a year under their belt now to get better.
They're just young and growing, aren't they? I mean, I expect their play to continue to accelerate and elevate. And think about the building blocks they had in front of them. Second-year guys in 2016 who had big years. Grady Jarrett, a monster in the Super Bowl, tied a sack record in that game against New England. And Vic Beasley led the NFL in sacks for the regular season with 15.5 and also had 6 forced fumbles.
Fourth down. Here's Roethlisberger. He finds Coates complete. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say you punt the football there.
So we're changing the analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them, and really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first-half chance. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Ordinarily, the responsibility for not letting edge pressure disrupt the play falls on the offensive tackles. Their job to push that edge pressure so far wide they can't either get to the quarterback or the runner, especially on a draw.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And he locates Wheaton, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Marcus Wheaton, 29 yards. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on first down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he's brought down after a good game.
And Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated in 2016 in Atlanta. The most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really a nice compliment to Julio Jones, and he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. On second down, it's Bell. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential, but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back. But now, I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, second-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the first. Shift together here from the D-line. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Martavis Bryant, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. come the Falcons. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now the ball comes loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Bryant with a catch right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Antonio Brown in motion left. They'll try again with Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They come out here in the I. Here's Bell. And he's into the end.